Hi guys, welcome to my channel Elemental Education. So today's video is the continuation part of sources of energy, that is part 4 we'll be doing. We have already made 3 videos, part 1, 2 and 3 of this chapter. If you haven't watched my videos, please go to my channel Elemental Education in YouTube. You will be finding the playlist over there. Please go through it. It will be easier for you to understand this part as well. So let us see what we have for today. We have this topic solar energy. We'll be going a little bit of details into it: solar constant, solar cell, solar cooker, and we'll be going for biomass energy. We have a categorization over there like wood, charcoal, cow dung, biogas plants. Next we'll be seeing what is energy from sea. Like we have 3 more categorization: tidal energy, wave energy and ocean thermal energy. So let us first understand what is solar energy and why we are studying it. See, solar energy is the cleanest form of energy and it is freely available. So if it is freely available, then we are harnessing that in different uses, right? Solar energy we can use it light and heat energy. When you are using this light energy, we can produce electricity. When you are using this heat energy, we are using for cooking or heating purposes. Now let us see solar energy. When you are using as heat, then it's a solar cooker. Solar cooker, it uses the heat part of the light or heat part of the solar energy. So this light we are using as solar cells. Solar cells. You might have seen, this is very common these days. We have solar panels, right? So these solar panels, they are quite easily available and these are quite efficient compared to earlier days. So let us see what is a solar cell. Before that, let's understand what is a solar constant. So if I am asking you, when we know the efficiency of all the energies or all the fuels, as we have studied earlier, petrol, diesel, kerosene, we have certain calorific value, right? Similarly, for solar energy, we have a solar constant. What does it mean? Let us take, this is 1 meter, this is 1 meter. This is not a perfect square, but it's a square. Let us take, this area is 1 meter square. Okay? So this area, how much solar energy? Suppose it's receiving the light of sun, that is, it is receiving the solar energy. How much solar energy it is receiving per square meter of area per 1 second? That is known as solar constant. So knowing this, we know that when the solar constant is higher, right? So this area is fixed. When I say solar constant in Punjab is higher compared to solar constant in Uttarakhand, then what is the condition here? The 1 meter is fixed, the area is fixed. How much energy or how much sun rays it is receiving is higher compared in these two places. So if Punjab is higher, then Punjab is receiving more energy compared to Maharashtra or any other place. If I am saying Gujarat is higher, then it is receiving more solar energy compared to any other places. So this 1 meter square per second is also constant. So this constant value is dependent on the amount of solar energy it receives in that point of place, at that place. Now what is a solar cell? So solar cell is a device, or we can tell it's a combination of some chemicals. Don't go for the details, it is not in your study. So solar cells is a combination of few chemicals. When the light falls, right, it does some reaction. Like we have photosynthesis in plants, similar kind of reaction we get. So these solar cells produces electricity. This energy we can use for our regular purposes. Suppose there are some places where we cannot do the wiring or we cannot provide our hydroelectric energy, like we are getting from our hydraulic power plant, right? Those energy, suppose in mountain or hilly areas, we cannot give them because there is no feasibility of giving the wiring to them, or those wires we cannot lay on that mountains. So those places will be installing solar cells. In a tower will be installing the solar cells. So each house will be having a small solar cell. That is enough for their livelihood. One fan, one bulb, whatever it is, based on the wattage of the solar cell, right? It is divided, so we can use it. So Gujarat, we know that already Gujarat is harnessing this kind of solar cells. And nowadays in every small emergency light or any devices small, even if solar power cars are also available. So those are boom in the market now. They are improving these facilities. So solar cell, solar constant, we know. Let's go for a solar cooker then. So before knowing solar cooker, let me just give you basic idea. Suppose this is a solar cell, right? In this solar cell, there are two layers actually. I told you, right? There are some chemical reactions going on. So silicon, boron, silicon, arsenic. These two layers are already there. So when there is a light, right? A light falls, then it does the reaction and provides electricity. So then it is free. Anyway, solar cell, just the installation part is costly, or we have to purchase this solar cell. That is the only cost we have. Rest all we have to fix a battery, wiring, those things. That is the only cost when during the installation. After that, everything is free. The electricity is free. Then why you are not using it? See, India although is a country where we are getting solar energy maximum time of the year, like 7 to 8 months we are getting good solar energy, but not all the 12 months. So it is not feasible for us. Suppose on a rainy or cloudy day, this solar cell will get only little bit of light. That light is not sufficient to give enough energy to run our household appliances every day. So in that case, this is a fail. You can tell this is a first demerit. Second one is, everybody cannot install this solar cell. Suppose people are staying in the apartments. Those apartments, suppose there are some 20 floors or 15 floors, the amount of solar cell will be installing on the rooftop, right? That won't be sufficient for the people or the consumption that is needed in the whole apartment. So we need a place. The solar cell requires a good amount of area to install. So that's second demerit. Third one is, it is costly. The solar cell is comparatively costlier. If you are just getting a electricity board, if you are getting a connection, right, it is quite cheaper than the solar cell. So we are preferring this. But on a long run, if you say for 15 or 20 years, if I am investing some money and I am using for 20 years, then I can harness this energy and it is absolutely free. So that investment, I can just reap the benefit of that investment. So next, go for the solar cooker. What is solar cooker? Solar cooker is a device where due to the use of solar heat and light, the sun's heat and light, we are able to cook. So let us see how a solar cooker looks. A solar cooker will be a box type design. I am saying about a simple solar cooker. It will be a box type design and there will be a reflector in it. I can tell this way. Suppose this is a reflector. So, and this reflector is a mirror or a metal plate. It is, suppose there are lights, so many rays of lights are falling on it. If it is a concave, right, it will concentrate the light at single place or concentrate the energy at a single place. How it behaves? We have seen a magnifying glass, right? So when the light passes through it, if it is a concave mirror, sorry, concave or concave lens, then all the lights will be concentrated in one place. We will be studying these things in our next chapter, light. So let us see. Here it behaves the same way. All the lights falling on this reflecting part gets concentrated at a single place. So here we will be placing some rice, pulses, those things we can cook. Those requires boiling, right? Boiling vegetables, those things will be, and this is made of a wood box, totally insulated in black paint so that it can absorb more heat. We know that black is a absorber of heat and white is a reflector of heat. So this is a mirror, and this is, and there will be a glass also here, so that whatever rays falling into it, right, inside the glass there will be the substances we want to cook. So whatever rays falling inside it, it won't come out. Generally once it passes through the glass, right, the rays cannot come out, because once it is absorbed, right, when there is a glass it will be more heating. That's the one purpose. So first we understand why we are not using, why it is not so popular. Although solar cooker is there and solar heater also, let us see, there is one more thing we can see that is quite common compared to this solar cooker. Solar heater is quite common. See, this will be installed on a rooftop. It will have pipes. These pipes are filled of water, normal water. This is a water heater actually. So there is a tank, it is connected. So when it is receiving the sunlight, right, it is also painted with black. So it will get heat up. When you are getting a supply out inside our house, we will be using this heated water. So these are quite common because this is quite easy and it doesn't depend on anything. Like if suppose it is kept under sun for 5-6 hours, then it get heated. The whole tank of water gets heated and we can use it. It's not an urgency. But when you are using a solar cooker, right, we cannot make chapatis, we cannot fry something. So the instant energy we will not get in a solar cooker compared to this. So solar cooker is not quite convenient and not useful. Not useful in the sense we cannot use it in the night time. We cannot use it any rainy places. So solar cell and these water heaters are quite popular. So when I say about biomass energy, what is a biomass? Biomass is commonly wood. Wood is known as biomass. Why? See, wood is quite commonly available in our jungles. So people, they take wood for burning. For many purposes, like we were using in earlier, wood were used in small industries, like small scale industries. Wood were, before it was the petrol and diesel, those petroleum products were popular. Wood were used for, actually we have a firewood. So those woods we will be using for heating purposes, like we are heating the room, the places that is very cold, not in India, outside some countries where it is very cold, we are using wood to heat up the room. And still it is a practice, nowadays also people are using it, firewood. Now we are burning for cooking. In many places in India, in villages, they are using the wood because it is easily accessible from nearby places, jungles. Dry wood they are using for cooking purpose. Now, having said that, wood, what is the demerit? Although it is easily available, wood has low calorific value. This calorific value is 17 kilojoules per gram. That is the first demerit. Second one is, this wood produces smoke. This smoke, we know, pollutes the environment, pollution. Third one is, this wood is comprising of carbon, right? So carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur oxide, so many things are produced. So what happens in this? These harmful gases, right, when somebody is cooking, he or she is inhaling it. That is a challenge to the health of that person. So these are the demerits of wood. But if you see, there is an alternative to this wood made of wood, that is known as charcoal. What is charcoal then? When we take wood and we are burning it in the deficiency of oxygen, then it is converted to charcoal. So what is the benefit of wood? It has high calorific value. The benefit is calorific value is high. Calorific value is high. Second benefit is this charcoal is compact and easy to carry. Third one is it doesn't produces smoke. It doesn't produces smoke. So if you ask me what is charcoal, you might have seen in many hotels, right? Small restaurants or many places. Those eateries, they have a bhatti. They tell it's a bhatti where they make the tandoor, right? They make the items like tandoori chicken or any naan, those kind of stuffs they make. So those things they cook in charcoal actually. Small black color substances are known as charcoal. These charcoal they are made up of wood. These wood charcoals, right? They are easy to carry because they are very lightweight and they are full of carbon. And second thing is very small in size. So the charcoals doesn't produces any smoke, or it's a clean burning fuel. So that is, and the calorific value is also high compared to wood. That is why charcoal is a easy replacement for wood. Although we are using this, but still it's not a very cleanest fuel. So next we will be going for cow dung. So let us understand what is cow dung. The excreta of cow is known as cow dung. How we are using it? If you see in our earlier days in India, people used to make cow dung cakes. Even now in some villages they used to make cow dung cakes. Those cow dung cakes they will be replacing with wood and they will be burning because that is quite easily available. So what is the merit and demerit? Cow dung's first merit is only easily available. All demerits, if you see, those are very high smoke fuels. Those calorific values are also not very good compared to charcoals. So still there are some places cow dungs. And third one is cow dung is full of nitrogen and phosphorus. Those are nutrients we use for agriculture. Actually you might have known that manure, right? Whatever you are using, the organic manure, those things are made up of cow dung majorly. So those cow dungs, they are useful, but when we make cow dung cakes and burn it, these are useless after that, because after that the nutrients are destroyed. So instead of this using cow dung cakes, we have an alternative that we prepare biogas. Instead of burning the fuel directly or cow dung directly after making cakes, we'll be going for biogas. So what is a biogas then? Biogas is full of, main constituent is methane, carbon dioxide and some other gases as well, and hydrogen sulfide also there. So in this case, biogas, what we'll be doing, we'll be making a chamber biogas plant. In that, when you put the cow dung, right, and we have to seal it. So if you keep it, there is no contact of oxygen. So without the availability of oxygen, it gets decomposed by some bacteria. So those things, after decomposition, they release some gases. These are made up of methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide. Those gases are released. So those gases are in turn collected in a tank, gas tank. So those things we can use it as a fuel, like our LPG, we can use it as a fuel. So this fuel is clean, high calorific value and doesn't make any smoke. So the remaining amount, what we will be doing, the remaining residue, the cow dung, will be using for manure, for agricultural purposes. This manure are full of nutrients, nothing has been lost. That is why biogas plants are also quite popular in rural areas, because where a lot of cattle are there, right? Those things are readily available and it is free of cost. Every village farmer, they can install a biogas plant with the help of the government or local bodies. Then they can harness this gas and also they can use this manure in the agriculture. That's a natural supplement for the crops. Now let us see, we are not going, biogas plant I have explained you, we are not going everything in detail, that is not in your course. And however, whatever I have given you, right, all those definitions, advantages, disadvantages, all those notes are available at the end of the video. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please go and subscribe and hit the bell icon. So whenever I am making any new videos, you will be getting the update at the same instant. Notification you will be getting. So let us continue. You have studied biogas plant, biogas, cow dung, everything, right? Wood related and solar energy. The next one is sea. Sea or ocean is a vast source of water, and that water, right, we have energy. We can harness the energy from that water. Let us see what is a tidal energy, wave energy, and ocean thermal energy. So these are quite small topics for this video. So energy from sea, we know sea has tides, right? Tide means the movement of water. The movement of water like this. These are called tides or waves. So to harness this kind of energy, when it is moving high or low, these tides, right, they are moving high or low, we are constructing a small dam. So in this dam we have a small outlet water to go. Then when this tide moves on a full moon or every day, 2 times it moves high and low. So minimum 2 times, morning, the starting of the morning of the day, and also in the evening, late night also. So we are constructing a dam, motor generator assembly. So this generator produces electricity when the reservoir leaves this water. The water leaves this reservoir. The next one is wave energy. Similarly, wave energy, we are installing a device where we have a generator assembly similar to that, and it has some air compression, like we have filled with air. When you are, suppose you are getting a balloon, right, it is full of air. So suppose you are compressing it, you are giving some energy. So when you are releasing that balloon, or suppose you are opening that mouth of the balloon flies out. Similar kind of phenomenon you can see in wave energy. So in that wave energy, air get compressed, that moves the turbine inside it. So that movement of turbine produces electricity. The next one is ocean thermal energy. What is ocean thermal energy? We know everything has got a temperature, like our body has some temperature, right? Similar to other organisms also, we have temperature. Like that, in ocean, the temperature varies from place to place. Like suppose, what is the temperature in the surface of sea? The surface of sea, suppose that is 28 degree. When you are going down little deeper, suppose some 50 meters or 20 meters down, it might be 26. So when you are going little down, it is more cold. So this difference of temperature we harness as thermal energy. That difference of temperature we harness it as thermal energy, known as ocean thermal energy. So where it gets this temperature or the thermal energy, it gets indirectly from the sun. So how we are doing it? When there is a difference in the temperature, right, we are burning or we are boiling, not burning exactly, we are boiling some liquid like ammonia or CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. So when you are boiling it, due to this temperature, you are using this temperature to boil this. This produces some energy to rotate a turbine, that assembly again. So we are harnessing this as a electricity. Indirectly, we can tell whatever we have studied, right, everything, sun is the major source of energy. Like indirectly or directly, sun is associated with everything. So this is the last topic of our chapter. I'll be giving you the notes at the end of the video. If you haven't watched my earlier videos in electricity and magnetic effects of electric current, please go through my channel Elemental Education in YouTube. Please go and share with everybody also. If you like my content, please do give a like, and if you have something to say or if you want to give the feedback, please do comment in my video. And if you have any specific topic in your mind, I can make video for you, so that please do the comment on my video as well, and do share with everyone so that it will be reaching out the students they are in need. And moreover, just go to all the videos if you haven't watched those videos, and please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. So that is all for today. Meet you in the next video. Thanks and bye bye.